folks, this is Richard of DoomedMovieThon.com. I am here with a little stuffed animal of a gallbladder. My friend Nikki got me this when I had my gallbladder removed, so I wouldn't miss it. I don't have a gallbladder. Welcome to another episode of My Horror Shelfie. I am doing a series of videos. Obviously they're videos. And I am talking about my horror movie collection from A to Z. Every single one of them. To you, about you, and with you, folks. Today's a big day. I'm going to finish the letter E. What? This is probably the easiest letter next to Q, the character from Star Trek, The Next Generation. My dad did that with pastels. It's a dog. Let's go pick some movies. First of all, this is a DVD of The Evil, but also with Twice Dead. The Evil is a movie that traumatized me as a young boy-ish child, and I still love it. Good old Brad and I covered this on Hello, This is the Doom Show way back. You can check out the archives to hear that episode. The Evil is a freaking haunted house movie. It's Friedkin, William Friedkin, but he didn't direct it. Also, it's got stuff in it. I recommend it. It is very 70s. Very, very 70s, and it has a TV movie feel to it, which is always good. Recommend Dodd. And Twice Dead is crazy. It's very fun. Starts off like your typical home invasion, mean punks movie, evil punks, and then it goes completely crazy. Stay tuned for this movie on Hello, This is the Doom Show as well. Speaking of frickin' obscure stuff no one's ever heard of, Evil Dad. This is a movie that no one has ever seen. I'm Mr. Obscure. Still my favorite of the franchise, the OG, though I love Heart Tooth. What's not to love? Hidden inside my Evil Dead 2 Blu-ray is my Army of Darkness Blu-ray to save space on the shelves. That's pretty cool. Why would anyone remake something? One of my favorite remakes, Evil Dead. Went ahead and picked up that unrated cut for some reason, and watching it, I couldn't tell what was new. Yeah, this is a great remake. I have minor complaints about it, and I'll just tell you right now, I wish they'd spent a little more time on a couple of the characters to kind of give them character. This is a roller coaster ride of a movie. I really feel like you know when shit's getting crazy because they use a siren in the soundtrack. That's helpful. Here's a movie that I struggle with. This is Evil Dead Trap. I'm a fan of this movie. It is wild and weird and gory and relentless. A nice Argento and Fulci inspired Japanese horror film. It has a rape scene that shouldn't be in it. It isn't a big deal, but it's terrible. And then, spoiler alert, the rapist gets his comeuppance, but they don't cut his wee-wee off, so it's not so great. But I really recommend this, and go ahead, fast forward through that rape scene. Hidden inside, of course, is Evil Dead Trap 2, which is also really strange. They tried to go in a different direction, and they succeeded. I think it's an okay sequel. It'll make you feel almost as dirty as the first one. Maybe dirtier. Evil laugh. This is the movie that is very movie-ish. It's got slash, horror, it's evil laugh, it's got a DVD, it's got cover. There's a disc with a movie hidden inside. Oh, we'll talk about that in a second. So, this movie is really fun. It has a proto-Scream character. I will say no more about that. Very 80s. Has a nice dance sequence with people cleaning a house to some like rap music or something. It's great. Hidden inside is a Brad present. My buddy Brad years ago sent me a nice DVD of The Dark Side of Midnight, which, if you haven't seen The Dark Side of Midnight, you should. It is wonderful. Speaking of obscure things that people never talk about and had no cultural impact whatsoever, certainly didn't inspire any sequels from Italy or Spain or Turkey, The Exorcist, and yes, I'm holding on to my ancient DVD because I really didn't care for the version you've never seen with the added effects to it. So I just held on to the old Warner Brothers. That's in one of those cardboard snap cases that are so fun. Nothing to say. I have more to say about The Exorcist 2, which I bought at Big Lots. Or no, wait, no, I didn't buy it at Big Lots. What's the store that's not Ross that we used to go to? Yeah. No, yeah, it was Ross, thank you. It wasn't TJ Maxx. Or Marshall's. It may have been Ross. They actually had DVDs at one point, and for $7, which is probably too much, they had The Exorcist 2, which is weird and stupid and overly thought beyond all possible human comprehension. Love Exorcist 2. It's almost an Italian ripoff, even though it was made by Americans, or British Americans. Of course, much better than Part 2 is good old Exorcist 3 with, I call him my homie, George C. Scott, but he was not a great person. I love George C. Scott as an actor, not as a person. Love him in this movie. Brad Dourif, of course, steals this movie, one of the legendary horror performances of the 90s. Of the 90s? Yeah, 1990. I made it. We finished a letter, which means it's time for a box set special. Bop. Dop-ba-doo bop. Stop me if I've done this one before, please. I got this in the mail, and I have not cracked it open yet, other than to open it. This is the Euro Crypt of Christopher Lee collection. This is what you do during a pandemic when you're like, wow, we haven't gone out to restaurants lately. Can I have lots of money, my wife, who controls the money, please? And then she says, okay, and then it's mine. Relationships. Torture Chamber of Dr. Sadism is basically the reason I bought this. That is one of my favorite films I saw as a kid on local TV. Or maybe Elvira hosted it. I'm not sure. I can't quite remember. Huge influence on me. Gave me that vibe, that Euro horror vibe that I'm always looking for. It is a German horror film. They didn't make enough of those in the 60s or ever, and it's wonderful. It's also got Crypt of the Vampire, which I have seen, and it's got Castle of the Living Dead, which I think I have avoided for some reason. It's always in the public domain. Challenge the Devil is also called Catharsis. Also haven't seen that. We got Sherlock Holmes and the Deadly Necklace. Anytime you got Christopher Lee playing Sherlock Holmes, which I don't even know how many times he did it. Is that it? Maybe it's the only time. Does he play Sherlock Holmes in that? I hope so. That sounds silly. Last but not least is a TV show he hosted called Theater Macabre. This is a box set. It's got a huge freaking booklet, lots of movies, and I should have probably looked at it before I talked to you about it. But that's called YouTube journalism. I'm keeping it real, stupid. Folks, I appreciate you watching this video, and you guys are cool. So please, stay cool, be nice, be mean, live your life, call the pizza. What is this?